Hello, everybody. Here we are, Friday, February 20th. In a world where Team USA women's hockey are gold medalists. Why doesn't everyone jump on the chat? Would love to hear from everyone. Hey there. So as people come on, I have to I have to share something. Hello. I have to share something that I just experienced. Today's a heck of a day for me. Live. Let me go right here. Happy Friday indeed. Where's my live? Let's get the tech out of the way first. I got to find my Substack. They just made updates to Substack. It doesn't see. Hey everyone. Okay. Am I live on Substack? I'm sorry. No one hates a non-techie person right now, but damn. Let me just do it on my phone. So annoying. So you guys, we were going to talk about Join Live. Here we are. Okay, I'm sorry okay, I do not see my Substack live at all. Deanne, I don't know if you're on, if you can tell me. Uh-oh, it looks like it went. Oh, there we go. Schedule live. Oh, it's not coming on. I don't think I'm on Substack. Anyway, let me just go live real quick there. I'll just go live organically. Sorry, you guys. But I do have everybody else in the chat. Good to see you. I'm going to ask you this in the chat. So I have a couple topics. One is incredibly light, one somewhat dark. Definitely. What is on your mind right now? Like, what are you watching? What are you following? Okay, my Substack people are going to have to let me know if I'm going on twice or if it's complicated on there. Dan, I'm not sure. Oh, you see you on Substack. Oh, Herb, be my guy right now. Do you see me like right now on Substack? Am I on there twice? Okay. Ugh, I can't see my Substack chat. But anyway, I don't have my. Okay. So what's on your mind right now? I want to tell you about something that happened to me just a couple minutes ago, right before I hopped on. But what is on your mind right now? Like, what are you following? What are you watching? When you see this news alert, tell me what's on your mind. Oh, there we go. I'm on a new. Okay, so Substack. Okay. It's only 3 people. I think I must have 2 Substacks going at once. And again, Deanne, if you happen to be on this, if you could just tell me what's going on, and then I'll hop. Okay, you're live on Substack. Okay, great. So tell me what you're watching. Tell me what I before I jump into all my stuff, what we're going to talk about today, because I know what our title is. Oh yeah, just Jimmy. I want to try and listen to some Epstein stuff, but the baby stuff just makes me too sick. Hello from London. It's wild over here. So we have to talk about London. I mean, we have to. But let me tell you real quick what happened to me. Today is insane. Today is an insane day. I had work all morning, had calls all morning, but I just did a TV hit for a show. It's called the Jason Show. It's out of the Twin Cities media market, but it's syndicated in, I can't remember, between 10 and 20 media markets. So it's growing. And I love Jason and I love this show. It's a very kind of culture show, light, fun, Jason, it's like talking to your best friend. I love it. And I've been on the show. I have 2 writing right now. Okay, Deanne, can you close? Oh, shoot. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to close this one if I have 2 running, so I'm not going to be able to see that. I don't see the Substack chat, unfortunately. Dang it. But yeah, you guys, I can only see the other chat. I'm so sorry. Because Substack isn't coming up for me. But anyway, so I do this hit, and what they wanted to talk about was they wanted to talk about Nancy Guthrie. And I know that I've done a lot of content about Nancy Guthrie. Is anybody watching Nancy Guthrie at all anymore? Like, is anyone seeing it or like following it anymore? So I almost feel as if Nancy Guthrie's story has run out of steam from the, just from the news point of view, because it was a huge, obviously, story because Savannah Guthrie's in it. She's off to Today's Show. And they have, fill-ins. They keep Craig Melvin, back on the desk. A lot of people are back on the desk. But now they have the Olympics going on. And the Olympics is it's going on, and we're getting close to gold medals, like gold medal rounds, like USA hockey, men's and women's, and all these things that are happening. NBC needs to like be all in on it. And maybe it's just me, but the sheriff in Pima County, they're botching it left and right, like left and right. The fact that the fact that her house was open to all these people, the pool guy, and bloggers, YouTubers, anybody's coming there. And then they come out and say that they collected DNA. But damn, like DNA, that could be from anybody, from the pool guy to the kidnapper and potentially the murderer. So it's just being bumbled. And then there were reports and leaks, and you guys saw this from the live last week, that the FBI and Pima County aren't playing nice. And then Dana, welcome, Jackie. And then oh God, I'm forgetting Dana's last name. She's all over social media. Oh my God, I can't think of Dana. Anyway, Donna. I saw one of her posts saying that Pima County is actually filming a law enforcement show, like one of those cable shows, that they're filming it, like they're doing. And so he's coming out saying, well, I've never handled a case like this before, and da da da. But meanwhile, they're filming like a show for cable about their about their investigation. So I think it's a mess. I think it's an absolute mess. And even if they find someone, that person is going to hire a lawyer, and they are going to refute everything, like from the DNA and everything else. It's turned into a huge mess. And if I were Savannah Guthrie, I would be out of my mind. So Jared's saying, hey, sadly, the Guthrie story has been overshadowed by the rest of the world's news. So Jared, I agree with you, because Jared, you're a PR guy. It's starting to get overshadowed, right? It definitely is. So anyway, so I'm doing this Jason show, and they told me they wanted to do it about, Nancy Guthrie. And I thought, is that still like even a story? But whatever. But 5 minutes before we go on, they can't hear me, but then they can hear me. And I'm hearing 3 echoes. So I have so they're live in studio, and it's 2 people talking, at the desk and on the couch. They're talking, and I can barely hear them. I can barely hear, but I'm hearing them 3 times. And so then I put a earpiece in to hear it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a shite show. This is going to be like Pima County, frankly. So I had to watch the host, Fallon, like ask a question and then let silence go a little and then answer it. So we talk about Nancy Guthrie for it felt like 30 seconds. And then she immediately switches. I think Manny's here. Manny, were you the one who brought this up? Maybe not. Tyra Banks. Is anyone following Tyra Banks? Is anyone following Tyra Banks? The Tyra Banks. Because this is now, because when I did even the last, I did in my membership, I did a training, and we were talking about, all the crap that was going on. And people were asking about Tyra Banks. I thought, well, I guess I have to jump into this story. So I want to talk about Tyra Banks. And I also want to talk about, and then let's just do some updates on Epstein. I don't want it to be the creepy updates on Epstein. I don't want to get into the frustration of Epstein. Dana, thank you. Donna Bowling, thank you. My mind. And she and I cross-post stuff all the time, but she is all over it. So what's up with Tyra? I'm glad that you asked, that it's not just me. Jared, you watched the doc. So if anybody watched the documentary, you tell me what you thought of the documentary, because honestly, Tyra Banks is falling into our world. she is dealing with while this documentary is coming out about America's Next Top Model. And I have to be honest, I'm not, I never really watched it. I have full familiarity with it, but I didn't watch it. When it came out, it must have been because it was right like 2010s, right? Like the 2010s. I think it ended in 2018. So I wasn't deep into it, but very familiar with it. And then I remembered within the last 5 years or so, she would start to get some pushback about, problems, kind of problematic issues, from back in the day when they were filming it. Now think back to it. It started, it went on the air in 2003. Where can you watch it? I think it's Netflix. It's on Netflix. I have not watched it. Will I watch it? Yes, I will watch it. So it's Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model. But if you remember, you had Tyra Banks. And back then, if you remember some of the clips that she would talk to people about their weight and how they looked, and it was a bit much, right? And it, who said it was contrived and performative? Yeah, because think about it. This is when reality television was becoming, so you had to be kind of like big and bold. And back then, this is 4 years after 9/11. We didn't have a cancel culture back then. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. So then her responses felt scripted and she made many non-apologies. Exactly. So I have not seen it yet. So Jared, thank you for telling me that. But we go on to Nancy Guthrie and then live that I can barely hear. All I hear is Tyra Banks. And I went, oh God, this is killing me. So I'm getting feedback now. I'm getting feedback now from 3 echoes, and the 3 echoes are about a topic that I know nothing about. So I have to wait till they're finished and then hear what the question is. And then I'm thinking, did Tyra Banks say anything? Is she on here? So I only know because I saw a Tyra Banks post or something, and somebody said that her comments were off and she wasn't saying anything. I hope that's the case because that's what I said. But Jared, are you saying that Tyra said it within the program, that the responses felt scripted and she made non-apology apologies? And I'm hoping that's the case because that's what I was going with on this television program. Because I think I really think they had to rein in Tyra because one, you also don't want legal issues either. You don't want someone coming out and, suing the show for something. But it truly was problematic, but it would be so easy for her to come out and take ownership of it and start it with the fact that this started in 2003. So Tyra would have come out looking better had she just owned that show was horrible and caused a lot of hurt. There was one particular story filmed of a filmed sexual assault. Tyra jumped the shark. Tyra jumped the shark. Love that. And they've taken her to the middle of the ocean because this past summer, when she released her hot ice cream line, I'm showing my pop culture. I don't know what that is. There are more faces of confusion than anything else. Yeah. Okay. So at least the through line that I know this, she is not taking accountability. And I guess the takeaway from this is, so people are going to the documentary. She's going to be in the documentary. It brings her back in the fold, which I think is important to her because she's been out of the fold for a really long time. So this is her way maybe of coming back. I think it would be, and if you're going to come back and you're going to come back about America's Top Model, America's Next Top Model, then you got to come back and you got to take ownership of it, right? Do you guys feel the same way? Like you have to take ownership of it. And she's not. She's dodging it. But I don't think it's just on her. She's hired people. She's hiring people. So Tyra, in my opinion, is following the advice of, it's just my personal opinion, publicists who call themselves crisis managers. Oh, Manny, you said it. Thank you. She announced season 25 at the end of the documentary. So are you telling me the program's coming back? You're getting Molly dealing with this reality check in real time. So is this what it is? Is this whole thing a launch for the rebrand of America's Top Next Model? Someone needs to verify that for me. Oh, Tyra. But Here's the thing. So whatever campaign, whoever she's listening to, she's following the same playbook that we see in the US regarding the Epstein files. Now, the Epstein files are challenging, problematic, trigger warning. That's what she thinks. Interesting. Interesting. So this is like the launch for something else, but she doesn't want to take accountability. But everything that I'm reading now that I've jumped in on it, the people are not having it. The public's like saying, no, you cannot pass go. And this is what Molly always says. The public will not let you pass go if you do not take accountability for whatever the problem is. But everybody wants to blame the public for having zero patience for anyone and for any celebrity or anyone in the public eye, and they want to cancel people. I say give the public more grace and give the public the benefit of the freaking doubt, because we're the connoisseurs, right? Not me on America's Top Model, but I will be. I absolutely will be. But the public kind of lets you know how you're doing, and the public, for everything that I've seen, and then the press picks up what the public says. And so here I have, this is Refinery 29. Taryn Finley wrote a story. So the headline: Tyra Banks needs to be held accountable. She's also the perfect scapegoat. That's a great headline. And that's exactly what I think it is. She does need to be accountable because she was the host. She was the executive producer, right? Behind it. And she worked with all the producers. And there's a lot of problems there. There are a lot of problems there. And all she needs to do. Okay, here we go. Viewers get a firsthand look at the conditions contestants were subjected to each cycle. They included extreme makeovers using plastic surgery and dental work, blackface and racist stereotypes as photo shoot themes, and sexual assault that was intentionally caught on film. Banks and former ANTM executive producer Ken Mock, who both served as the executive producers for Reality Check, so for this show, were interviewed. Banks was able, for 24 cycles, Banks was able to bully women into becoming the American ideal standard for that ideal woman. And also, in fairness to Tyra Banks, she came up at a time where that's how she was treated, likely. That's how she was treated in the industry. So she's just passing it on, passing it forward, right? I like this line. ANTM was one of the first times millennials witnessed hyper-femininity politics on display in the media through a reality show competition. As a little Black girl from the Midwest, watching the women who looked like, so this is the author, who looked like me on the show, further ingrained a conditioning that was already at play, that to the world, I could only be beautiful with conditions. Yow! Yowza, yowza, yowza. So Tyra Banks, this is going to be bumpy. If she's launching another show, this will follow her until she, along with the other producer, Ken Mock, take accountability for it. So I'm definitely going to watch it. But let's just quickly move on, because I'm not going to be on for the entire hour, because I have to go to my office and film. I'm being interviewed for Chronicle. It's the local WCVB's, the local ABC affiliate in Boston, and Chronicle is it's just a long standing local show, and they're speaking to me. They're doing like a little profile on me and all the things that we talk about. Substack is funky. I know. I think we had an issue with it, so I can't see Substack. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry, but we're on everywhere. We're on everywhere else. So I'm glad that you hopped on over to YouTube. YouTube is the stream that I'm reading right now. So I'm going to hop off a little bit early because I got to run over there and meet the crew. They're going to be there before me, and I will be interviewed for that. So we'll see how that goes. And have I prepped for it? No, but I do not want to leave. I don't want to leave before mentioning this. So Prince Andrew, as you saw, so yesterday I got up and I had my whole day planned, because I had to be in Boston in the afternoon. I had my whole day planned. And then I get the notification about Prince Andrew. And my first reaction, I'll admit, self-involvement here, thinking about myself, was, oh, my day. Damn. Because I have to jump in on this. Because We have been tracking Prince Andrew for so long, the former Prince Andrew. And then immediately after that, I thought, look at the UK. Look at London go. They are going after people. They are charging people. They're doing what the US wants. Yes, that photo. Andrew looked like he was visited by his mother's ghost. The photo of Andrew yes, ex-Prince Andrew, the former Prince Andrew, I should say, Andrew, Mountbatten, Windsor. That photo of him in the back of the car is awful. Awful, awful. So tragic, the photo they got of him leaving the police. Oh my gosh. It is awful. But you know what? This is an example. So that's what I did. So I got up, I did not work out, and I started writing. And I posted something to Substack. So I have an article there, and I just posted it real quick. And the reason why I had to write about it, because we've been following it. And also, Andrew has been deflecting and denying for so long. And this veers into another show on Netflix that I absolutely love that we've talked about, which is Scoop. That show is so good because it is the behind the scenes based on real events from the 2019 Newsnight interview where Prince Andrew, the then Prince Andrew, sat down thinking that he could control an interview with Emily Matlas, who is she's not really the Barbara Walters, a little, who would she be now? Because now we don't really even do news right now. I don't even know. She's the Emily Matlas of Emily Matlas. She interviewed him, and in Scoop, I watched Scoop, and then I watched that interview again. The dodging, the deflecting, and if you remember, he said that photo of him with Virginia Guthrie, and what a shame that she's not alive to see all this. What a shame that he was all sweaty, and he said, well, as it so happens, I can't sweat. And then he got into, and then he chose to do what people do when they're caught and when they're cornered. They get into the details. Has that ever happened to you before, where someone, they're wrong, and instead of admitting they're wrong or taking accountability, like where were you or anything like that, they will get into the details of something else. And that's what he did on camera. And he did what I watch many other people do. And when I have clients who want to do this, and then I have to listen to them and say, okay, I understand. But you can't outsmart a journalist. You can't, because a journalist has a job to do. But people sitting in the seat, and I know Andrew thought the same thing, they think the journalist's job is to tell their story and to tell it from their point of view, to buy into it. That's what people sitting in those interviews think. And that's what Andrew thought. And it backfired on him wildly. Diane Sawyer, she could be the Diane Sawyer. Yes. Diane is she's so smooth still to this day. Yes, Louise, and he can't deflect anymore because royal family distancing might still be considered too little, too late. So he gets arrested. Apparently, the palace, nobody knew. The king was on his way to like a fashion event or something. Am I right? So the king gets blindsided by it. And then the king, Charles, has to come out with a statement. Now, we've all talked about the statements in the past. When Andrew's statement first came out in May, I believe, again, little sprinkles of denials in there, but I know what's happening. I didn't do anything wrong. It's that denial. Then the next set, he loses his title, and then the royal family has to come out. So King Charles has to, now it's like Andrew versus King Charles, because that's what happens in the legal system in the UK. And Charles came out with the statement, or his people, essentially shutting the door on him. The law is what's most important here. So Andrew was released, but the investigation is absolutely continuing. And King Charles is supporting a full, fair, and proper process of Andrew. Some say the king did know. I don't know. The only way, yeah, he went to London Fashion Week. I would say, because I think the BBC was reporting, at least when I was watching, that he didn't know. But if you think about it, if you're the police, so what I heard and what I read, and this was from the BBC, is the police yesterday, like during the day, they were still kind of more in the intermediate stages. Like they weren't close to picking up Andrew, but then they found something and then they went to get Andrew. So it could be. I don't know. I'm just taking that based on what I heard. But so now what I want you, so what we need to what we need to follow is, what does he do? Because Andrew's on his own. He is on his own. He's on his own financially. He has to get a lawyer. He has to do all this on his own. So it's interesting to see when someone has bottomed out what they do. I think he's going to bring Fergie with him. And it shows, it also shows, and this ties back to the US, what drives so many people, especially a lot of these people with Epstein. And it's, it's that power and that proximity and money. But before we move on to the other people, I want to talk about Harry and Meghan for a moment. What do you guys think? Angie says he reached the pensionable age on the day of the arrest. Oh, meaning, and it was on his birthday. Angie, are you telling me that Andrew has a pension or he doesn't have a pension? Herb, am I the only one who looked at the photo and immediately thought of Pantone's 2026 color? You're the clown dancer. Well, but you know what? The Pantone color of the year was very pale. So yeah, you're right there. But yeah, kind of airy pale. Yeah, you're right. I think oh my God. Do you think his daughters are involved? From the Navy, his military pension. Yeah, but also he was not in the Navy that long to get a long pension, to get that much of a pension. He wasn't in the Navy that long. I think he retired. I think, I don't know. I think he was like a commander. I don't think he was very high up there. Not that commanders aren't high up, but he definitely wasn't a captain. I don't think he was a captain or an admiral. Do I think the daughters are involved? I mean, the daughters are living their life. Eugenie, Beatrice, they're both married. They both have kids. They're both royal. But this puts them in a bind too. And they're going to be under the thumb of the royal family. There's no way the royal family didn't know about Andrew with the UK intelligence service. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because I mean, think about the royal family and what they've been protecting, but also think about Harry and Meghan for a moment. Now, I posted yesterday just on TikTok only because someone commented like, will Harry and Meghan enter the era, the kind of the redemption era of everything they've been saying? And so I think my take on this, at least what it means for them, because it doesn't just change Andrew's story, it also changes Harry and Meghan's story as well. Because the royal family, I mean, alleged, but we've been watching this, there's so many PR machinations coming out of the royal family, and not just Harry and Meghan. If you remember, Catherine's cancer diagnosis as well, when she left and hid, and no one ever heard from her. And then it came out that she had cancer, but she was gone. And this was right after there were whispers about William with Rose of Highbury. And it was so messy. And I remember jumping in on all that content there because the royal family really flubbed the Kensington Palace, really flubbed the media coming out of that. Now, does Reddit send me royal family stuff? And I see what everybody says, like the real deep people who talk about it. There's a lot of concern about Kate's mental health too, for how thin she is and how tough it might be. And are there problems with their marriage and everything, but also with Harry and Meghan. And this is what I said. Here's my disclaimer. Harry and Meghan have made choices, and they've made a lot of dumb choices, I think. I don't think a lot of heinous choices. I think dumb choices, like their timing and just, the money and the books and the this and the that. But I think they're settling. But they're painted as these villains, and they've tried to destroy the royal family. I'm never, ever going to go there. And you can't look at Harry and Meghan without mentioning the racism piece. So Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, has definitely dealt with that. She's definitely dealt with so much negative press. And I did a post about this. I always get calls from the press about, talking about Meghan. And I stopped, and I forget who it was. It was People Magazine or Us Magazine or someone. I think it was People Magazine. They wanted me to comment on an article, and I said no, because everything about Meghan is negative. So this changes it, and I think it changes it for the press too. They have to think twice now. Every news editor, every really digital news, people who want clicks, they have to stop. Oh, and also, like I would do media interviews like in Australia and doing stuff in the UK, and they talk to me about Meghan, and then all of a sudden I'd get into this royal press realm where they would take one thing that I said and it would say, PR expert says that Meghan's, like, what? I didn't say that. But anyway, but I think this is going to help Meghan and Harry, especially now that she has followed Molly McPherson's advice. But which I've always said from her is just go back to your take days. Just be an influencer. She has style. She's beautiful. She has taste. And she seems like a very kind, decent individual. Just go all in. And that's what she's doing. So maybe the press will kind of hop off for her. Working roles are too many people to control in today's world. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm absolutely sure that the royal stoked rage against Harry and Meghan to deflect from Andrew. Absolutely. So are we all in agreement here that, it's not that Andrew did all of this in a cave in silence. He was an envoy. He had